Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the PMR Podcast, episode 52, 1 year celebration. Let's go.
Yeah, let's
go. If you're listening to this,
confetti gun, bang.
If you're listening to this episode and you haven't liked or subscribed yet, what are you doing? Get some figure exercise, smack that like and subscribe button. Also, if you're unaware, we are currently live on Spotify officially at Present Moment Recovery Podcast. So go check us out there. Let's get into this episode.
Episode 52. My name is Mitch. I'm an addict and an alcoholic still. Super excited for one whole year on the podcast. We'll get into it more, but Andrew, what do you think?
Well, I think I'm still an addict and an alcoholic a year later, which is great, because it means I get to do this for another year with you guys. I am angry we haven't met yet in person. That's insane. We're in two different time zones, 3 different states right now. That is also crazily impressive. And to just be a little sentimental right off the bat, like I've never finished anything in my life. Like in active use, I started stuff, stopped and bailed out on people or made empty promises. And to sit here having sat down and recorded 52 of these things and been a part of this group, like I'm happy about it. And I'm just beyond excited for the future, because like if we can do a year, who knows what else we can do together, the 3 of us. It's just, not to come off egotistical, but like, damn guys, like we've done a lot of shit and it's been amazing. We've had guests, we've been flexible with each other. We've recorded from some strange places. Like we've made it work. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited, man. I'm really, really excited about what the next year holds for us, man.
Yeah, me too.
Let's Mitch, can we get a rundown of the yearly statistics? How many views, how many subscribers have we gotten in 1 year of the PMR podcast?
I think we're sitting at 170 subscribers on YouTube, which is awesome.
Should be way more after this episode, after that intro.
That's right.
Yes, I agree.
That's right. I know. I looked at the thing, and it's so funny when I watch those videos, and like some of those YouTube creators will like put up like 70% of you are not subscribed. We have the same thing. It's like we like most of our viewers are coming by. But I will say it really doesn't. We're not that pressed. We might say that, but no. We are mostly joking.
Yes.
But I think we're But yeah, so 170 subscribers on YouTube, about 20,000 views on YouTube, which is nuts. Like that's really, really, really nuts.
Yeah.
And then the TikTok is about somewhere in like almost 600 followers, and we've had some videos on there. There's, and then recently we're on Spotify, as Stevo said, which took us almost a year.
We added another team member.
She was a guest, Sophie, a couple episodes ago, and we'll probably bring her on. She's officially part of the team, helping us with Spotify and creating videos and all that. So very grateful for her, and the team is growing. But we did want to bring on the OGs for this year 1 episode. I do want to say, I'll get a little sappy here. To you guys specifically, Steve, I've known you for 2015, eight-ish.
Yeah, 8, almost 9 years.
8-ish years, almost 9 years. And I'm dyslexic. And it's been like, dude, like to be able to do this with like one of my best friends, is like really, really, really dope. I like people say like, don't work with your friends and like stuff like that. But dude, like we've had like, it's just been beautiful to see our relationship grow through this. It wasn't like something that, was like this brought us closer. Like we were already close, and it was like
It
an
kept
addition.
us close, I feel like.
Yeah, it kept us close. Given that I'm out in California and you're out in Ohio, like,
Yep.
I can't thank you enough, bro. You've been nothing but consistent the entire time. We send you the episodes, you edit the episodes, you have ideas about all the episodes, always have them back, and like, we're not paying you, you know what I mean? You're like literally doing it out of the kindness of your heart. I'm serious, bro. I can't thank you enough. Like I literally could not, Andrew and I could not have done this without you. You're very much an integral part of this, very much a part of the PMR podcast. So a sincere thank you to you, bro. And next time I see you, I'll give you a big old hug.
Bless.
Yeah,
dude. No, it's been my pleasure, and I'm proud of both of you all for staying sober, spreading the message, and making recovery a lot less stigmatized. I think it's a big benefit to the world. So I'm happy to be involved, and I appreciate that also.
Dude, it's so cool to see you two, like again, like I didn't have the friendship that you guys had through swimming and everything else, like, and to just see you guys show up for each other, and particularly you, Stevo, showing up for Mitch, and me as well. Like that's the type of support in sobriety that like makes it all worth it. Like Mitch got well, like it strengthened his friendship with you, and now here we are, like making this content, and you are like Mitch said, the reason that it's on YouTube, the reason that we have videos, the reason that we have anything publishable is because of you. And it just inspires me to stay sober another day, seeing a person like you, like who's not, quote, an addict or an alcoholic, like step up to the plate and like stick his neck out for a friend who's doing this work. So
oh yeah, man,
your guys' relationship, that's a power of example for me. And you are that example, just like being a man who like shows up for his friends and always like, and you've never missed anything. You've never been late. You've never ever. So, that consistency is fucking amazing. I've never, because I'm fucking late all the time. Yeah. I can't show up on time for a goddamn thing. I'll blow my ego up and say, oh, I'm consistent and I showed up for every episode and blah, blah, blah. But like, even for me, who's making steps in my recovery, like I'm still late all the time. Like you are punctual and on top of it at all times. So I applaud you, man. It's been amazing this year.
Yes, sir. I live to serve.
That's right. Be of service, bro. It's beautiful. And Andrew, I met you on the phone about this time, about a week from this time, like last year, through Zoe, and talked on the phone. I don't know. It was the first time we talked on the phone. We were like, yeah, I'm trying to rip a podcast. Did I say that the first time we talked?
Yeah, you did. And I was like, this dude's out of his fucking mind.
Because dude, like, so when PMR started, I was in a cabin outside of Greg's house in quarantine. And I was like, not doing any Zoom meetings, not doing anything like that. And I was like, I want to start something. I want to build more of a community. I'm feeling disengaged from other people in recovery. I have and had a great friend system, but I didn't have many people in recovery. And a lot of that was self-induced because I isolated and didn't really go to meetings that much when I was in Ohio. But I was like, I want to start this page. And present moment has always been a thing. So I started this Instagram page, present moment recovery. And like everybody was on their phones in quarantine. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be sick. Posted like maybe 2 things. And I was like, that's too hard, and stopped. So I think it like sat at that for a while. And then maybe incrementally I would do like a post here and there. And it was like this, like terribly edited Phoenix, the same one that we have now with like a quote. And I did that for like maybe a month and then stopped. And then fast forward to 2 Novembers ago, I was with Stevo, Bebe, and Money. We were
I
in
remember that.
Chicago. We were on a boys trip, and I was like, I'm gonna start posting consistently. I don't know if you remember that.
I do. I
But,
remember it. I remember it very.
um,
We were in Bebe's car. We were
we were in
driving
Bebe's
downtown
car.
Chicago.
We were like shopping. I think we were going somewhere, and I
Yep.
was like, I'm gonna start posting consistently. And from that day, literally until the podcast, I didn't miss one day of posting like a new quote or whatever every single day. And then that led all the way up to that August where we got on the phone and I was like, I think we want to start some like, do an audio and do a video. And you were, bro, didn't even know me. You were like, I'm fucking down. And we literally ripped one episode in the end of August, episode 1. And from there, like we said, bro, like hit every single episode. We missed 3 weeks in a year. And it's just like really, really nuts to see that like, I know we're not like a super famous podcast and we're not all, blah, 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 blah. But like you said, for me too, bro, like finishing something and it's not finished, but like showing up, being consistent. I've learned so much about how to be disciplined, how to be consistent, how to show up for others, literally from just this, and this has leaked into so many other we've made so many connections with guests. We've made so many connections with each other, it's just beautiful, bro. Even if it all ended, like, and we all like, I truly mean like, even if nobody ever watched it, if we were the only 3 people that watched it, it's like, I walk away from this and I get so much from it. It just helps my recovery. It helps my life. So yeah, that I think, and to you, bro, like similarly to Stevo, you've been consistent. We never even met each other. We live 3 hours time difference. You bring on guests, you're engaged with the guests. You like, I mean, I can't thank you enough, bro. This is not something that could have been done. This is not a one-man show at all. I couldn't have done it without you. So and just so thankful, bro, for you. We talk off the podcast and we help each other in our recovery. And I've always looking for like a brother in recovery near my age, with a similar experience. And I was praying for that, bro. And that's what I got. So, now it's going to get me sappy on this fucking episode.
Yeah, man.
But I appreciate you.
I didn't think I was going to get, emotional about this at all. I mean, I thought we're just going to laugh a bunch for an hour and then call it an episode. But,
Yeah.
It's I've told you this before. I've told Stevo, I think, like, if nobody watched this thing, then I'd still come out ahead because I got 2 friends. Like, you know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing for me. I don't hang out with a lot of people like that I grew up with or that I used to run with, obviously, or from my past, really in general. Like I don't have a lot of that, and truly, like I did, I gained 2 brothers. I gained a brother in recovery, and just another brother in life. And I don't know, man. Like we took like a leap of faith right off the bat. Like I'd never seen your face. All of a sudden, we're on a Zoom screen, and we're like, all right, let's press record and see what happens. Like. And it's pretty cool where we are from there. It's pretty cool. We've had some amazing guests as well. Like just kind of going through the list that I've seen, just starting right off the rip with Greg, right?
Yeah.
Like that was amazing. Like getting that perspective. And I think some of the guests I've learned more about you, I think, through some of the guests we've had than just our like one-on-one conversations, right? Like when we had Stevo on the first time, like, and you guys are talking about your experience, and Stevo was talking, like, Stevo, you were talking about what you were seeing from Mitch, like in his experience at Denison. Like, I got a lot of insight, into you, Mitch, and that meant a lot to me, and it was really important, I think. But we've had some crazy cool guests that, that I've learned a lot from. Sometimes I just sit back and I would just love hearing them rip for like 20, 25 minutes because it was it felt like a meeting, really. It felt like I was in a meeting. I was hearing the message. And that's absolutely unreal. Going through you guys, I'm just looking at this list right now. It's pretty
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. First guest being Greg. That was awesome. Obviously a very integral person in my life and especially in my early recovery. And then so that was awesome to bring him on. He had our pool as his background, which is pretty funny.
I was hella intimidated by him at first.
Dude, he's big, dude. I think he's as big as you, but also like just like a big intimidating guy. I don't know. but he's teddy bear. He loves everybody a lot. So that was really sick. And that honestly for me, like to be able to talk to him like that, and hear more about like his side of the story with like kicking me off the team and shit, that was like very therapeutic for me. And then our next guest was Emily.
Yeah, that was a wild connection.
Yeah.
Like that was another Denison connection.
Yeah.
I remember her from the training room, like the 2 years I played lacrosse, and she was an athlete too. Like I remember seeing her in there. We'd have like surface level conversations, whatever. I go about my day, but like it's kind of cool. Like somebody that I kind of cross paths with, and then the field she was in and that she's still in, like, and she's in Boston, like meeting up, like I met up, we got coffee, we talked about the pod, like, and she reached out to you, didn't she, about coming on?
I think so. Yeah. We had been talking and she said that she like loved that we had started that. And then obviously being like a mental health counselor or licensed mental health counselor, it was just like made sense to have her on. So that was sick. And then the next episode, we got Pirate Stevo for the Halloween episode.
Stevo, you need to explain the costume a little bit. What was that all about?
Yeah, well, it's a costume from RuneScape, which we were talking about prior to filming this episode. And the spirit angler is a fisherman who attacks this boss called Temperos, and and so that's why I had gotten 99 fishing earlier that spring summertime. So I was like, oh, I'm a nautical guy. I like sea and ships and sailing. Like I'll just be a spirit angler, and then when people don't understand it, I'll just tell them I'm a pirate, and then they'll get that.
Yeah, that's fair.
For those of you who don't know, Stevo is an expert runescaper. Is that the right word to say? You're a runescaper?
I'd call it a master scaper.
A master
a master
All right.
Yeah.
He's maxed out his, what is it? Crafting? I don't know.
Crafting. Yeah.
Yes.
Crafting, which is the hardest thing to max out in RuneScape.
He spent many months working 30 hours a week.
Stevo and I share the ability to go real hard at video games.
Yeah,
we do share that.
I just learned that Mitch spent about a third of his waking moments playing some video game in his first year of sobriety. So if you're just getting sober, maybe play video games for a while. That might work for you.
Yeah. I didn't drink, that's for sure. I did stare at a screen.
You had a nice mask on in that episode, Mitch.
Yeah, I had a Michael Myers mask that the intro is. I kind of want to watch like the beginning of the intro again.
Dude, you can barely hear yourself.
I was like muffled. And then I had a Lamar Jackson ski mask or shiesty mask on under that.
We had to text you and be like, bro, we can't hear a word you say.
Yeah. And then our next guest, I think, was your brother, Thomas.
Yeah, he came on.
And you guys did that side by side. I think that was like Thanksgiving-ish.
Yeah, I think 8 months ago, it was probably Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. That was special for me, kind of in a similar way that Greg's was probably special for you. Just because we had family meetings or family therapy type of stuff at treatment, but it had been over almost 2 years since we had done that, and just he kind of reiterating like how scary it was for him to have me, not knowing it, if I'm alive or dead or where the hell I am or what I'm doing for a period of time. That just kind of sobered me up a little bit.
Yeah.
To you know my actions affecting other people, man. And I like we spent a lot of that episode, I remember laughing, just like enjoying each other's company, man. And that's fucking special. Like we didn't used to do that. Like we were fighting and I was hiding stuff and I was blocking them off and building walls and distancing myself. So definitely felt good to just laugh with him and enjoy that. That was a special episode.
Yeah.
And then we had Dan on.
That's right. We had Dan Powers.
Who I'm kind of angry because everybody got to see this buttoned up, very, very emotionally intact, mature individual.
Mm-hmm.
And I've known Dan for almost 2.5 years, and I wouldn't say he's mature at all. So so I'd like to bring him on again and have the real version of him.
I would love that. I would love to see that.
Yeah. We'd have to edit quite a bit out, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make Stevo's job difficult.
Yeah. Just speaking of Stevo, that went right into our Christmas episode where Stevo came back. I think Stevo, where were you? It looks like I remember you were somewhere. You weren't home.
I was in the Outer Banks. Yeah, Outer Banks. We did gratitude lists. I remember that.
Yeah, that's sick. We did a gratitude list.
Yeah,
have we done any gratitude lists since then?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
The gratitude list is such a sneaky tool.
It is. That the Christmas episode was also when the original intro song that I had made for the podcast got flagged by YouTube, and we had to like last minute rush and figure out how to fix it so that we could upload it properly.
I remember that.
Yeah, and now we've got the new intro song.
Yeah, that was wild. That was so dirty. YouTube, if you're listening, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure they are.
Just kidding.
I would be careful with all that.
Yeah. Just kidding. We're very grateful for you, baby.
Dude, what was I doing in this beanie too for like 5 episodes?
You were rocking a beanie
to take this thing off.
I see that red beanie.
Yeah. What the hell am I doing?
You had back-to-back episodes in the red beanie, baby.
Dude, what the heck was that all about?
That's tough. I like that. I think it's so dope to see like the progress of like also if you just like look at the cover of the videos, like we really stepped up the guests in the back half of the year. Like the more you go up, then it's just like guest, which is awesome. I think
yeah, we had a lot of guests in the back half. I think because we just got more confident. Like for me at least, like asking like, hey, we do this thing, come on. Like it's a good time and it's legit.
Like, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool to be like now if someone asks or if we're talking about a guest, you can send it and they can look and see that like if it may not be popping, but there is 52 episodes. Like we've showed up, we've been here. Like this is something that we're invested in and enjoy doing. So it is cool to like. If I've been saying this joke, it's really not funny. I really shouldn't say this joke. But if I do have an untimely death, there is 52 hours of me right here, baby. So
you're a ghost.
I'll live on YouTube forever.
Don't make jokes like that. Come on.
My mom was pissed at me for saying that one. That's the last time I'll say it.
I think we recorded somewhere in there. Like we literally like recorded on like New Year's or New Year's Eve or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like one of these episodes, like the Happy New Year's one or whatever. I feel like we like actually record like right on New Year's or something like that. Which is
I think so. And then our first like high profile in air quotes guest, if you will, was Dan. And Dan was dope. And he's still ripping his podcast and he's doing something similar to us for recovery, which is awesome. So
he's also training for an Ironman right now.
Yeah, I know. He's a beast.
He's legit. And you went on that podcast, didn't you, Mitch?
On his, yeah. I think you did too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan Carity, if I'm being honest, it's good. I've listened to a couple more. He has some cool people on there.
Yeah, he does.
He just had this guy, like this crazy ultra marathoner.
Really.
Can you imagine doing that? Stevo, do you run?
Steve-O could. Out of all my friends, he definitely could.
I could. My problem is I kind of, humble flex. I kind of bulked up a lot, and my knees and ankles are not built to carry the body that I currently put on top of them. I do bike a lot, and I swim a lot, though.
Lower impact.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of low impact. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. What are you weighing in at right now,
burly
Mr.
boy.
Muscle Man?
I'm currently 205. I was 205 this morning.
He's jacked.
Yeah, but we're in the summer, at the end of the summer shred right now, so bulking season's about to pick back up, and then we're just going up.
Summer shred.
What does that even mean?
The summer shred. So for me, that meant I started biking, like 70 to 100 miles a week, which adds an additional, probably legitimately 3,000 to 4,000 extra calories of burn every week. And so your body burns fat, but keeps the lean muscle. And so it just it really shapes your figure and makes your muscles much more defined. And it basically your body fat percentage drops and you effectively lose weight by doing that.
That's tough.
I might have to do that.
Summer shred. How much? How much do you weigh?
You're asking me?
Yep.
225.
Yeah, you guys know this dude is like 6'4", 225, middle linebacker for the Ravens. He's on the practice squad.
No, I'm an ex D3 lacrosse player, buddy.
Oh, my bad. I got those confused. Anyways, I will say when we do link up, because we will this year. We said this year we're gonna do it. That picture is I'm gonna go on my tippy toes. I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm gonna need you to bend your knees a little bit. All right, because I'm not standing next to fucking Jesus. All right, so
Jesus,
I will say that I feel like Jesus might have been tall. I don't know. I don't know.
Jesus was definitely hot. No one would have followed Jesus if he wasn't hot. That's all I know.
That's a good point. All right. Anyways,
we're getting into theology here. I like it. Let's stay on this topic.
Then we brought on Stevo knows him, Peyton Gomer, Lieutenant Peyton Gomer. I think he's a higher rank than that now. I'm not sure, but that was actually really sick. Like it was really cool to hear. One of the main things that I still think about from that episode is when he said that there's a level of pain that you need to be okay with when speaking about like opioid use and like pain management medicine and distribution. I thought that was beautiful to hear from him, just because, and he really focused on chronic pain being, what would be if someone was in a chronic pain, that would maybe even if you've checked all the boxes, then look into like these hardcore opioids and stuff. So that was dope to hear from someone that's actually, prescribing it. He's literally prescribing that. So
yeah,
made me feel good about what he was doing.
I got to shout out both of you, Peyton and you, Mitch, for that one. I was in that's when I was in Minnesota for my grandmother's funeral. And that I watched that episode, actually one of the few episodes I've actually watched all the way through, because I can't stand listening to my own voice. And I really liked kind of being like an outsider watching like my own podcasts that I wasn't on. Like, it was cool. It was really cool. And there was an amazing episode. I wish I was on it. I had all sorts of questions because, that being generally my drugs of choice along the opiate line. And he was really fucking smart. And so I'd love to bring him back on so I get a chance to pick his brain. But that like episode sticks in my mind is like, that was the only one that I missed, you know what I mean? But life kind of life happens. And in the next episode, we literally like talked about loss for an hour. And I got to thank you for that, Mitch. That was really helpful for me. Like that's what I love about this fucking thing is like we've kind of a like we joke like we shoot from the hip or whatever, like that's how we do this, but every time, like every episode in some fashion is pertinent to my life at that time. Like we choose topics, we have guests, like and something we talk about, some subject we're talking about, usually like delves into a subject or an issue or something that I'm dealing with at that current time. So like I really, really, really appreciated that episode because it was like you were like like I was in therapy session. Like I was going through loss, like literally at that time, and you helped a bunch. So just wanted to thank you for that one.
Of course, man.
Then we had Trey, right?
Yeah, we had Trey. And what I was gonna say real quick is to that, I completely agree. I think it's cool to it's like time stamped of where we were in my recovery. I was talking to Todd, and he was saying like it's I've heard like the change in your verbiage and your tone and what your goals may be, you know, like throughout the podcast, like where you were last August to now, like it feels like you're more in touch with your spirituality and stuff like that. So that was really cool to hear from him that like that there has been growth, because sometimes I'm unable or it's hard for me to see that clearly, I guess. But Trey actually ended up becoming like one of my like main homies out here, which is pretty cool because
that's dope.
I hadn't even met him before he came on the podcast with us. I met him through one of my neighbors. And like now we like go to the gym all the time. I was literally with him last night or 2 nights ago. So shout out Trey. That's one of my boys out here. And then and we had Joe. After that, we had Joe's a good guy. Mental health fitness dad on Instagram.
I was wondering what you were gonna say about that, man.
He was awesome.
We should have had a script ready to just fucking blank, like say it and go to the next one.
Yeah.
Yo, that was so hard for you to just say Joe's a good guy.
He is a good guy. Joe's a good guy. We appreciate that was the guy that we met on Instagram, and it was a good episode. And we brought on Melissa, who I went to treatment with, and that was actually crazy. I haven't seen Melissa. I haven't seen Melissa in a long time. I haven't seen Melissa since I left rehab. She like gave me a hat that had the present moment on it, and like that was really nuts to see someone that I went to treatment with 6 years ago and then like get on a Zoom with her and talk about when we were in treatment. Like she was really there with me. That was nuts. That was like beautiful.
That was a cool connection, you two. Yeah. She said we always have a place to stay if we're ever in Charleston, South Carolina. Melissa,
right.
if you're watching this, we're gonna take you up on that at some point because I've heard cool things about that place. I want to go visit it.
Yeah.
Should that be the PMR meetup spot?
PMR meetup.
Yeah.
Charleston. That sounds electric.
All 30 of us.
That's right.
All the guests still.
Yeah. And then we had the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Sage, bro. Absolute beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. I still work with him. He's my recovery coach. That was a cool episode for me because I look up to him so much. And like the way I met this dude. I listened to a podcast he was on called Find the Others. Mm-hmm. It's on Spotify. It's like pretty cool. And like 3 degrees of separation, like my brother's old roommate in college. So I grew up in his hometown and knew him or something like that. And my brother was the one who sent me the podcast and said, hey, listen to this dude. He's really cool. And it was like just what I needed. Like I was like a year sober. I was like kind of clenching my fists, just like kind of getting through it, not having a big spiritual practice, not taking great care of my body. And listen to this podcast. Sage talks about fitness, breath work, and sobriety, and I was like, dude, I gotta talk to this guy. I called him like the next day. I got his number. I called him, and yeah, it was. I started working with him immediately, and it started me on my breath work journey. And we've done a breath work session on the pod.
Yeah.
That was an episode, and like that's I got certified facilitating it, and I still work with Sage. He's he's the reason I'm in the gym. He's the reason I work out, and so he's been a huge part of my recovery. So it was like full circle moment having him on. That's how I heard of him, and then we had him on our own podcast. So yeah, that was amazing. Still got to get out to his gym. Shout out High Vibe Holistic. It's kind of funny. He's like, he looks back on his name and he's like, people always walk in thinking it's a goddamn dispensary.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, no, this is a wellness like
Well,
gym.
maybe he'll catch the guys that wouldn't need to be in there.
Yeah, true. That's true. Dude, this next episode was wild. It said like I'm reading the timestamp. It was like an hour 30.
Yeah.
Didn't even feel like that at all.
How long is the episode?
Didn't feel like it though.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, if you're looking for like a really like he's a great speaker and his story is really insane. Like episode, what is that? Episode 29 with Brad. He runs a huge sober account. It's called Sober Motivation on Instagram. And like honestly, I think I was following him like I think I've been following Sober Motivation without knowing like it was him running it for like years. Like he is like one of the biggest sober pages that there is. So it was like kind of unreal to be able to see how willing, like I hit him up and he was like, sure, I'll come on. And like, it was cool. He's a really dope dude and he's been growing his stuff like a ton. But yeah, his story is nuts. We didn't have enough time, honestly. We try to bring him back on at some point and get more from him. But I was going to ask you, Stevo, being like behind the scenes, I always want to ask, like, you see, like, we did like, for those that don't know, Andrew and I will record the episode and then we send it directly to Steve after he chops it up. Like, what is that experience like in terms of like, you get your first look at the episodes? Like, have any guests to you stood out? Like, because you get that first access to everything.
Yeah. I will say the first thing I love about getting the episode is there's always like 5 to 10 minutes in the beginning, when you start recording, but before the episode actually starts, where you guys are just kind of chopping it up and you always shout me out. So I always appreciate that. In terms of guests that stood out, I would have to say Dan Carity really stood out. Just because he was kind of a higher profile guest that we had. And I guess I put a lot more value on that episode because of that. Other ones that kind of stood out, Greg, because I obviously knew Greg. Same with Emily. Like people that I know that come on those episodes, it's really interesting, especially if I haven't heard from the people in a while as well. It's interesting kind of hearing from them again, like finding out what they're up to, hearing their perspectives on everything that you guys are talking about. Those are the main ones. I did so Dan B, the last guy you had on, I really liked his energy and attitude towards everything, and his story was cool.
Yeah, he was dope.
Danny was a special one for sure.
I love Charlie's too, dude. Charlie was sick, especially like given where he was at. That was the first one. Like, I'm not trying to speak ill on anyone, but a little bit behind the scenes for y'all. I had this like nervousness about bringing anyone on that didn't have 1 year of sobriety. And like, I don't really know. I mean, I guess it was just like nervousness for them. And then like, there is, and Andrew and I have talked about this, like putting our faces out here like this and talking like this. There is an added pressure, at least.
Oh yeah.
To be honest, I don't feel it as much now because it just feels so natural and I like it doesn't tweak me out. But in the beginning, it was kind of like, oh, I'm putting myself out there and like I better have a great program and I better, all that. And that I did feel pressure from that. And so my only concern with bringing people under 1 year, not that, and not even to say that like at 1 year you make some big switch and now you're all good to go. It was just like, because Charlie works a great program and he talked about his program and he's in a great spot. And so that ended up being an amazing episode. I think I just remember being hesitant, because we have to think about not only our recoveries on here, but if we're bringing on guests, we have to really gauge, and I think we do a really good job of this, but gauging who's coming on. Are they in a good spot to be able to speak on recovery too? Because it can be triggering and it can be hard. And like, especially if we're sharing it and then it's out there, like we've had guests share it to their own personal pages and stuff, and people that didn't know they were in recovery do now. And like, it's just a weird thing,
Quick update on Charlie. Charlie is celebrating a year in about a week and a half.
That's dope.
He is at the sober house, moving October 1st into his own place in the area. And he's doing great, and I had to do a little convincing with you, like, hey, like, no, like, I think it's we can bring this dude on. And I didn't think about it from that perspective, but it makes total sense. But I was adamant, like, no, this dude he's solid. Like, he works a better program than me right now, to be honest with you. And I was really, really, really happy he came on, because he's somebody I've worked with since the beginning of his sobriety, and that that was special for me. I do want to shout out your outfit on that episode. I mean, what do you have, like a vest on and a hood and your hat? I was like,
the Tommy
who is this
Hilfiger,
guy?
the Tommy Hilfiger sweatshirt. That's hard, bro.
I do want to also shout out the late night episodes that we do.
Yeah, we did do some.
We do some goddamn late ones on there. Stevo, can you like notice it's like a difference in my energy? Like, if it's like midnight my time, like, am I like nodding off? Like, what's going on?
I'm gonna be honest. No, I don't really notice. You seem pretty stable.
Yeah, we do good. We do good. We do good when the camera's on. We do.
You guys you're present. You're clicked in.
Yeah.
Some of those I was like, dude, it was like midnight and I just worked at 3 to 11. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know what I'm going to say on this thing tonight. But
no, I think
those are some of the coolest ones we did. Honestly,
I agree.
Those are when it was like, most special. Really, for me.
I love that we do like some of the step work that we did and like pulling quotes from the big book and stuff like that.
I love when we both go hoodie too.
Yeah, hoodied up. That was the
Kaylee.
Kaylee, yeah. Kaylee's girl I met out here at the meetings. She's young. She's been through a lot. So it was awesome to hear her story. She's, like I said, she's been through a ton already. I think she's only like 20. So she really does a lot too for just like I know she's a part of a lot of the younger groups. She has commitments at like 3 or 4 groups. So she's like very in the middle of the programs for sure. So appreciated her coming on. And then I know
her story was crazy.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people reached out just about her resilience. Like,
yeah,
she shared a lot of, personal stuff and stuff beyond addiction that was, traumatic. And that was very powerful for me to hear, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Then we brought on another Dennison, Miss Zoe.
She should have been on earlier, man.
Yeah, I know, because she is the one that put you and I together. So I can't remember how that one came about. I think just one morning we woke up and we were like, why have we not had Zoe on? And then we brought her on. It was cool to hear because she got to see both of us. No, did she see me in addiction? I don't think so. Yeah, she did.
She was, because she came in with me.
Oh, first half of
she did though. She did. She's my first half of my sophomore year before I left.
Right.
She saw a little snippet. But yeah, she got to see both of that, and she's got to see both of us in addiction and both of us sober, which is like pretty beautiful. And she's a very caring person. So that was a really dope one.
Dude, this is when we went on a run with.
Yeah, we went on a guest run.
Like, dude. Holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
Dude, Andrew Wong is out there, right? An LA guy, right?
Yeah. One of Trey's friends, Trey introduced me to him. Real spiritual dude.
Mm-hmm. And then having Grant on,
Oh yeah, my OG.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
Stevo was on that one too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did the first and only to this point 4-way.
Wow.
The screen was
There
so
was a
full.
lot of personality.
Yeah.
The 4-way. That's hard. And then dude, Ian was nut. I really, really liked Ian. I'm probably gonna shoot him a call today. Ian Kellum was program director, substance abuse counselor down in San Diego, right? And was that a Sage connection?
Sage connection. One of Sage's they were in a sober house together when they were both like, 3 months sober.
Yeah. That's nuts. He's killing it.
Ian has helped me on my meditation journey for sure. I still talk to him regularly, and that's just like, again, this the podcast putting us in touch with these people like that are sharing a similar journey. So he's been really, really, really helpful for me. And then Bebe,
rocket scientist.
rocket scientist, great title. That was a great title.
Yeah.
Stevo, that was probably cool hearing him because you guys are friends as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Mr. Bebe. And then Aiden's story was sick too. Yeah, a young guy in college,
College
doing the
athlete
recovery
too.
thing. A lot of athletes too. Like I feel like we talked about this a ton. Like almost everyone had like an athletic background and that like identity to that sport. That identity piece is so big.
Dude, and we still just kept going on a run here.
No, Ben,
which is cool because it was a guy I went to treatment, in the same spot. It was his brother. We got to bring on at Ben's brother, John, who's my friend. We have to bring him on as well. He's got a pretty amazing story.
Yeah.
Johnny was cool because it was just a whole new perspective on things, man. Like
he found us on TikTok, which is interesting.
And he's never, having never used
in his life,
in his whole life. Like that's again, it was something that's still so alien to me, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
no idea.
Yeah,
how we did that.
And Michael's like one of my favorite people I work with at the treatment center I work with. He's just like such a loving and caring dude. Like he puts everything into our clients and working with us, and like really, really, really held it down for me when I first started there. Like always being friendly to me, and I would like ask him questions about this, that, and the other. Because he's doing a lot of what I want to do too. So that was really cool for him to come on.
Yeah, he was very special. And
then our newest team
invested too.
Yeah. And then
Self was next.
Yeah.
The beginning of a partnership.
That's right. Yeah, I actually got hit up by a lot of people for her episode talking about I know my mom specifically like really, really, really connected to her story. So that was awesome that she came on and shared like so openly and honestly. And again, shout out to you, Sophie, for helping us get everything on Spotify. And then I think through that same page, we'll be able to get things onto like Apple Podcasts and like everything. So that would be pretty sick to see that start to come together too.
Then we had a heron run.
Yeah, we did
for three straight weeks, which was cool. I call him Skippy. Sorry, that's his nickname. We had Chris on,
which is our biggest episode ever besides the episode 1.
Yeah, and I got to shout him out for like plugging that big time. He like made a Facebook post and it just blew up.
Yeah.
So kind of cool to see. Like I'm friends with him on Facebook, whatever, and like so many people commenting on it, like just saying how proud they were of him, and it was really cool. He's got a little over a year, and to see the change he's made, because I've known him since the beginning, is amazing. Amazing. Yeah. And then Mark was one of my favorite conversations.
I agree.
I think so far.
I agree.
he's just like a well-spoken dude. Like he has a lot of ideas and he can go. Which is why I didn't want to bring him on with Dan, because I was like, we're gonna be here for fucking 3 hours.
Yeah.
We brought Dan on last week, right?
Yeah.
And that was special for me because he was right there at treatment with me when we started. Like when I started my recovery journey. He was right there. Like he was the dude who like did my urine analysis. Like here's the cup.
You are, baby.
You know what I mean? So
Sure.
he's been there with me since the beginning. So just hearing from him was absolutely amazing as well. And I never heard his story, before. He kind of he makes, it's about other people while he's at work. He never really discloses all that stuff. So that was very special as well. That's a lot of guests, man. Ton of people.
It really is. I think I counted it. I had the number. I think it's like 26 or 27 guests out of 52. I think actually it might be more. I did count. I'm gonna do it again.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Now we have to think, where do we go from here? What do? We get a studio, Stevo? What should we do?
I'm telling you, the PMR Studios that's got to be the end goal at some point.
Where though?
Oh, ooh, yeah, no, that's a hard question to answer.
We're spread out over thousands of miles, Steve.
Yeah, I'm literally in
clouds.
the Midwest. You're on the East Coast. Mitch is on the West Coast.
Like it's we couldn't be more spread out unless we were international.
We got the country covered though.
We do.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be cool to see, what the next episode is like and what the next episode is like. I think it's just fun to be a part of. It's fun to be a part of. I'll leave it there. I don't know what it is, but it is cool to be a part of, and we all enjoy doing it. And like, as long as, we said off jump, we're here for each other. This is very much a meeting, and not even, it's just a wholesome, call it an AA meeting, call it whatever you want. Like, as long as we're enjoying it and one person is enjoying it or getting something from it, we'll keep plugging along. We finished all the episodes. We'll be or what is it?
We'll
keep coming back. I don't know why I forgot that. But all the episodes are saying that, and we have. And like Andrew said, I double down on this. Like, to be able to show up consistently has helped me. I know you guys said the same thing. So,
dude, and you've changed a lot in a year, I will say.
Everything changes a lot in a year.
Yes.
Everything in general. And even what I find interesting too is I sometimes like to kind of, I'll call it daydream, or like kind of imagine what my life a year from now is going to look like. It never ever looks like that. It usually looks different, typically in a better way. But it's like I always have this, this idealized version, like, oh, like what will a year from now look like? And a year is a long time. I mean, it's flown by. I will say a year of this podcast has gone by really quickly, but I agree. Like, I think all of us have grown and changed in our own unique ways over the course of the last year. And I'm really excited to see what the year 2 recap will end up looking like.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Will Mitch still be wearing a hat?
I've been taking it off. I had to shoot this video, and I found out that it actually doesn't look that bad. So
your hair, I've seen your hair like twice, dude. Like I have no idea what you got under there. Like if you got a little alien controlling you, like Men in Black, I have no idea what you got going on there.
We'll keep that between me and the alien.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I'm gonna bring the afro back, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the TikTok hair where it's like.
I don't know what he's talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah.
Steve, you know what he's talking about?
No, all I know is I've got a pair of clippers. I'll fix you right up.
Oh man, double bald?
Should we all go with the Stevo cut? Let's all go with the Stevo cut.
Shout out to Carson Clear. He did shave my head before I went to rehab. And I don't know if I ever said thank you to you. And you're definitely not watching this, but I do appreciate you for that.
Oh, I remember you telling that story.
Yeah.
When you did
I had
your
a
story.
whole Britney moment there. I shaved my head like a day before I went to rehab.
That is a Britney. That's exactly what Britney did.
That's right. That's right.
I have my Britney moment every 2 days when I shave my head
You take care of that thing every 2 days?
Yeah. Do hair grows fast? You'd be surprised.
Really?
How fast it grows. Yeah.
What? I get my haircut like every 4 weeks. That's impressive.
I need to get a haircut right now.
Dude, I don't even know if you have hair. I've never seen it. I have no idea.
I do.
All I know
Can't
is
take it off right now because I just got out of bed. I just got to listen. There will be an episode soon that I don't wear a hat. I'll just drop that. You'll have to keep coming back. If this is your first episode,
people got to come back.
Keep coming back for a big hair reveal. Stevo, do I have hair?
Yeah, you've got hair. Now, I haven't seen it in a year.
That's what I'm saying. So, you can't corroborate that. Yeah. You haven't seen it.
I am in a hat slump. I'm in a hat slump. I'll agree. There is a whole hat wall to my right. I'm a big hat guy. To that though, I'm not. First of all, I'm not bald, and I don't have a receding hairline. I know there's a lot of reasons why people wear hats. I don't have that. I just really do enjoy hats. I will say my mother told me that I used to wear pans on my head when I was a young boy around the house. And it's just a safe place for me. I feel secure. Okay. Do we want to get into it?
See, this seems like a deep-seated issue here. I think we've opened a can of worms. I think episode 53 might be dealing with Mitch's hat obsession and what it really means.
Yeah, that's fair. I should look into that, honestly. Like I said. Damn. What else you guys got? 1 whole year. Also, ego. This is ego. Whatever. That's impressive, bro. I'm impressed by us.
I am.
I'm impressed too. Yeah, I'm proud of you guys.
I'm proud of us.
You as well, Steve.
I'm proud of us.
There we go. Yeah. I've seen Mitch's time there for the whole last year on the back wall there.
I think I'm going to redo my room soon, so I might change it up.
I'm excited. You've seen my blurry background for...
Yeah, I'll say this. In year 2, I'll take my hat off when you unblur your background.
I will unblur my... I'm moving in a week, so...
Are you really to California?
No.
Oh.
I'm moving like 10 minutes away to a place in the South Shore of Boston. This is why I don't unblur my background. Hey, I got a Ray Lewis in the back.
Let's go. Let's go. This is a big...
All right, I unblurred my background. You have to take your hat off.
Because I just got up. I didn't think you were gonna check me like that.
Yeah, that's what's crazy about that is I have been awake for over 10 hours.
What
time is it?
Almost. It's almost
like almost
1:30. Yeah, it's 1:30. Yeah, I woke up at like 3:30 this morning.
I'll tell you this. Last year when we started the podcast, I was running out of money. I was running out of jobs. Didn't have much going on. That man right there is like helped me, besides the podcast, helped me learn discipline, helped me learn like all that stuff in terms of getting up early, starting with it literally did. For people, if you're like in a rut, I'll be fully serious with you right now. If you're in like a crazy rut, because I really was, I couldn't get my resume out. I couldn't do it. I would sit at my computer and look at the resume and I couldn't finish it. I couldn't send it. Stevo was like, just start with going to the gym in the morning, be consistent with that, leave when you don't want to be there anymore. I literally started with that, started building days that way, built my self-confidence back up a little bit. The podcast started. And like literally from there, it went from Andrew, inspired me also with working in recovery. And I was like, I really got to get this going. And then all the way from there, it's just like literally compounded on top of each other, like getting the rehab job, like my swim lesson money, the coaching started going again, like all that stuff, everything started to roll. And it really did start with like a lot of inspiration and encouragement from Stevo. So,
dude, you did that all yourself. I just told you what I did to do it myself.
And that's all. And that's a beautiful. I love that you say that, bro, because that's all that Andrew and I say is just all we can do is tell you what we did, share our experience, and if you connect with that and it works for you,
yep,
bang.
I just like to comment that Stevo was up at 3:30 this morning.
Yeah,
That's outrageous.
that's when he gets up. He's a demon.
Yeah, and what's crazy too is like that I don't even wake up to my alarm. Like that was when I naturally woke up.
Nope. That's insane, dude. It's still dark. It's dark for like 2.5 hours after that.
Yeah, but you get to see a great sunrise.
Chemtrails.
Okay. All right. In year 2 of this podcast, I'm going to try to get up at not 3:30, but a little earlier. Just because
3:30 is aggressive, I will say.
3:30 is really aggressive.
When do you go to bed?
7.
Last night I was lights out at 8.
Goodness gracious. That's when I'm having my first meal. That's insanity, dude.
Yeah, the demon.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. All right, year 2. What are we gonna, what do we want to do? We got to set some goals here.
I say we keep doing what we've been doing.
I'd say we keep doing what we've been doing, spread out to more platforms.
Get off Zoom.
Yeah, get off Zoom.
Sorry, Zoom.
And I think we should try. We got what, 20,000 views. I think we should try and get to 100,000 views by the end of year 2. That's 80,000.
Like
that's 80,000 views this year.
4x.
Keep coming back, baby. You got to keep coming back to find out. Like and subscribe.
Coming back.
Yeah,
Mitch, thank you for checking me. We just got to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, I think I think there is something to like setting those goals for sure, 100%. But I think we got to this point by just being like, what are we doing next week? What are we doing next week? What are we doing next week?
Next week up mentality.
I think for me, if I start doing that shit, because I was talking to Andrew, I've been struggling with I do have an ego, obviously, but like it was starting to while out a little bit recently. And I'm not in a position where I can be like, I want 1 million views. And because then I'll fucking start lashing out at y'all if we don't start getting to that. You know what I mean? Okay, I'll be like, hey, you need to bring this. Like, we're not doing, we'll just see what happens next week.
I like that.
And I say that to say that if we do that, then some of those goals may be reached.
True.
Well, I love you guys. It's amazing.
Love y'all
keep
too.
coming back.
Keep coming back. 1 year of the PMR podcast. If you're listening here, you can also listen on Spotify.
Do that.
Check it out. I know you. I mean, check it out. Never mind. All right. I'll just say this. We are on Spotify, but I am personally a Spotify hater. I am an Apple Music loyalist to the grave, but I have listened to it on Spotify. Thank you for coming around for a whole year, Stevo, Andrew. Appreciate y'all. This has been 52 weeks straight. All right. Love y'all. We'll keep coming back. Clean Cause is a pretty awesome company. They sell yerba mate drinks. The founder is in recovery, and they put 50% of their net profits back into those struggling with addiction and alcoholism. Absolutely love their company, absolutely love their message, and very thankful for them to partner with us. If you're interested in getting some, you go to their website, cleancause.com. All right. When you're checking out, you're going to enter in Mitch20 into the discount code area, and that's going to get you 20% off on these fire drinks. Right now, I got that cherry lime. All right. Enjoy this week.